Am I the butthole for not giving up my baby's name for my sister's sake? Throwaway account. My half-sister Dee Dee, 40, and I, 27 female, found out we were both expecting baby girls earlier this year. My due date is in a couple weeks and hers was in July. We were never close, mostly because of the age gap and personality differences. I was shy and an introvert and she was always a show-off and needed to be the center of attention at all times. She announced her pregnancy 4 years ago at my wedding. She has 3 children, 12, 7, and 3, already, and this will be my first. We shared a paternal grandma who we both loved more than anything did. She died when I was in high school and we were both devastated. At that time, I told my family I would name my future daughter after my granny. Forward to this week, my sister found out at her checkup that her baby has died in utero. Our whole family was devastated. While I couldn't be with her physically, we have been speaking on the phone and video chatting every day. 2 days, we were discussing the process she has to undergo and names for the gravesite came up. She told me that she was using our granny's name. I gently reminded her that my husband and I had picked the name for our daughter years ago and that we have loads of customized baby gear with her name. She started crying before telling her mom to talk to me. After arguing back and forward with her mom, I just snapped. I told her Dee Dee would be wasting the name. The namesake will not be getting carried on and loved. She immediately started screaming and called me a horrible person and saying I am going to be a horrible mother. I started crying and my husband started yelling back at her through the phone before hanging up in her face. My husband is pissed at this point because we have had our baby name choices picked out since we got engaged. I have been ignoring Dee Dee and her mother's calls and video requests all day. Our dad ended up texting me to please let Dee Dee have the name because she will not have her child, but I will. I told him that she has had a daughter and had her chance to use the name with my 7-year-old niece. At this point, I don't know if I am being a butthole. I don't get why you can't both use the name. In a normal situation, I think that's clearly the answer. But since Dee Dee's baby died, the name will be a punch in the guts every time she hears Op's baby mentioned. So original poster would be doing the compassionate thing to choose a different name. However, Dee Dee already has a daughter who she did not name after the grandma. She definitely only chose grandma's name because original poster did because she needs the attention to be on her. So not the butthole for not changing the name. And it seems everyone knows original poster was naming her first daughter that name, so it was already chosen. So whilst incredibly sad, it's the half-sister's choice if she too wants her daughter to have that name and be reminded. They can both use it. Exactly. Nobody owns a name. Original poster has been very clear about what she's naming her daughter. And she should not be made to change it. Original poster's sister also has every right to use that name. And she needs to decide whether she wants to use it, even though her sister is using it too, and it's going to forever remind her what could have been. That being said, if sister uses that name and original poster does too, it's likely to cause family issues and a huge drift. Original poster should make that decision being aware of this and decide if it's worth it to her. ETA, original poster's sister is grieving, so I would cut her some slack. But original poster said the name is going to be wasted on a dead baby. That makes original poster a giant butthole. I agree. This sub likes to believe that you can say very callous things to someone if they are in the wrong. There's enforcing boundaries, speaking about facts, and then there is aggressive retaliation. This original poster's half-sister is definitely in the wrong to demand she change the planned baby name, but original poster didn't have to hit below the belt like that, saying a name would be wasted on the dead child, that she wasn't loved. Original poster could have just said no and left it at that. Completely agree. I was on original poster's side until she said the name would be wasted. That was a giant move. While sister was being a butt demanding she change the name, original poster didn't have to hit her where it hurt. She's grieving. Saying she wasted the name on her dead daughter is just cruel and hurtful. In this case, everyone sucks here. Original poster went too far. I don't think Dee Dee demanded she change the name though. I think she just wanted to use it too. Original poster didn't say it to her, though. She said it to her mother. She never told her sister she was wasting the name. I don't know, I think using the name someone has expressed they would use for your death baby is also extremely toxic. It doesn't even say Op's sister asked her to change it. By her own statements, Original poster was the first one to make it an issue of only one child can have the name, and that will be my child. After this the sister's mother got involved, but it's framed as letting sister have the name, doesn't even say exclusively. Original poster is the only person in original poster's post to act like they have exclusive rights to this family name. I guess you missed the part where original poster gently reminded her sister that this was the name she would be using for her daughter, and the sister flipped out and then sicked her mother on original poster. That doesn't exactly scream to me that she's okay with them both using the name. I didn't miss that part because it didn't happen. Original poster gently reminded sister that the name was claimed, and sister started crying. Not flipped out. Crying. Crying is not flipping out, especially when you've just lost a child, want to name it after your beloved grandparent, and someone in your family is acting like only one person in the world can use that name, and it can't be you. Asking someone else, i.e. sister's mom, to try to talk some compassion into the selfish that is original poster is also not flipping out. The flip out happened during a back and forth with the mom, during which original poster admittedly acted like an butthole with her comments. Like basically boils down to, I told her dead grandchild was worthless and she actually yelled at me. Can you believe that? Original poster sounds like an butthole, and although it will admit I am inferring based on later comments, I am positive even her initial gentle reminder to her sister, who has just lost a baby, was not well okay. But I just want to remind you we've been planning to use that name and will not be changing our plan, but no, you can't use that name, I'm using it. And I say that because if it was simply a gentle reminder that original poster was planning to use that name, original poster wouldn't later be complaining about how she has stuff with that name on it and that the name is wasted on a dead baby. I totally get your point, but the way this story is written, it sounds like no was the answer quite a few times before this happened. There is enforcing a boundary, and then there is punishing someone for crossing it. This was punishment for crossing a boundary. Everyone sucks here. Where in this does Dee Dee demand that original poster not use the name as well? To me it reads like Dee Dee mentioned she was going to use the name on the gravestone, and then original poster blew up and demanded that her child be the only one with that name. I honestly couldn't find a point where anyone told original poster/DH that they couldn't use the name. Everyone only said that Dee Dee should be able to use the name too. We were discussing the process she has to undergo and names for the gravesite came up. She told me that she was using our granny's name. I gently reminded her that my husband and I had picked the name for our daughter years ago and that we have loads of customized baby gear with her name. She started crying before telling her mom to talk to me. After arguing back and forward with her mom, I just snapped. I told her Dee Dee would be wasting the namesake will not be getting carried on and loved. ETA. I just reread my comment and I hope I didn't come off as rude/argumentative. That was definitely not my intention. I just wanted to create space for more conversation. Dang, rereading this in your comment makes it even worse. The name will not be getting loved, her sister won't love her dead daughter? Awful. Also telling Dee Dee they have loads of customized baby gear. Like. The woman is buying a gravestone for her daughter and original poster is complaining about all the stuff they've got for their healthy baby to play with and use. As a mitigating circumstance though, that comment came after the half-sister set her mother loose on original poster. Not to mention original poster is pregnant and due in a couple weeks. You don't yell at a pregnant woman. I gently reminded her that my husband and I had picked the name for our daughter years ago and that we have loads of customized baby gear with her name. She started crying before telling her mom to talk to me. After arguing back and forward with her mom, I just snapped. Especially because she is pregnant, she should be able to realize that saying something like this is incredibly cruel. I understand that original poster is upset. She has every right to be. I would actually be quite forgiving considering the circumstances. But this is unforgivable, and any woman, and especially a woman carrying a baby, knows that. And yelling at her after what she said was completely warranted. Pregnancy simply doesn't give you a free pass to be a butthole. I am saying that being currently pregnant. Because this makes me sick. This exact situation happened to me. I told my girlfriend to never let anyone know our potential names. Well, she let it slip at a family event. Her cousin was pregnant at the time and smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day. She ended up having the baby 3 months before her due date, and her baby died 4 days later. We were haunted to find out she named her baby with the same name my girlfriend told her. Not just the first name either. both first or middle. Then they got tattoos of the baby's name. Fast forward a year. Her other cousin tells us she purposely stole the name. My girlfriend swore beforehand she never mentioned any baby names. But I remember being choked she let it slip. I'm still sad about it. Did you end up using the name? Or change it after this happened? Still trying to conceive, unfortunately, we are keeping it in my mind. I'm 60-40 ready to confront her family if they say anything to us if we still choose it. A lot of foresight going on in my mind. I'll be ready. We had just had our son when we let our daughter name slip. Yeah. The conversation should have been that's also my daughter's name and should have stopped at that. Like it's both your beloved grandma's name, so who gives AF how many people use it? If Dee Dee tried to argue, I'm sorry for your loss, but this name was decided for my daughter when I knew I was pregnant. It's okay for us to share the name as it belonged to someone we both love, then hang up and leave it at that. Let her argue, scream, grieve, whatever she needs to do. Instead, original poster just went straight for you are wasting the name to someone who just lost a baby. Both people sound horrible, so I'ma say everyone sucks here cause y'all playing our roles. ETA, okay, I misread the part where she said it to her sister mom. It's still bad though, and my verdict still stands cause everyone here sounds horrible. Arguing over a name whilst one woman is suffering horrendous grief and the other about to give birth. The entire conversation should not have happened and they all suck for it. Agree with everyone sucks here. A woman whose baby died is in unimaginable pain. Original poster could have respectfully said it's okay for both their babies to be named after Nan, and that would be a wonderful honor for her. Personally, I know a family with 4 Peters in it and everyone copes okay. Telling her the name is wasted because her baby died is horrible. But it's still okay to use Nan's name. I can't believe original poster told her sister's mom that naming her child after the grandmother is wasting the name. That is so incredibly insensitive. Totally agree that everyone sucks here. I don't think that is everyone sucks here, as original poster half-sister already has a daughter that she didn't name after Granny. I agree with your verdict. While this situation is hard and painful, original poster saying the name would go to waste was pretty I named my child after my mother's aunt, whom I was very close with. Her son named his youngest daughter the same, only with a different spelling. There's many ways to honor Granny, either by having the name as a first or middle name. I think it would be an easy compromise, but I'm also not pregnant and hormonal, nor have I lost a child. All these things factor in having a rational solution for this. Absolutely, each to their own. Live and let live. ETA, well, thank you guys for liking this comment, and thank you anonymous Reddit stranger for the award. Everyone sucks here, holy cow, that was horrible. You are the butthole because you just told a woman that just lost her child that she will be wasting the name. Seriously, it doesn't matter if you hate the person with a passion, you never say that to anyone. Your half-sister sucks because, well, you had told everyone you will name your daughter that name years ago, so she shouldn't have made such drama, and I agree that she could have named your niece that name. In all honesty, you both sound horrible, and it seems like you both are horrible to each other. ETA, your father also sucks, and by what he is saying it looks like you half-sister always had her way. Changed my judgment a little bit because I really thought that user Senpai Ranjit and user Atioa era comments were on point. You really think it'll go over well when original poster uses the recently dead kid's name for her own child? It's highly suspicious that sis had 3 kids before, yet none of them was going to get grandma's name, but just as original poster gets her child, sis suddenly wanted to use that name all along. I don't know for how long she was planning this, but it definitely feels like she either did this to steal Ops thunder, or maybe even because she spites original poster for having a child when hers sadly died. Not the butthole. I think you're right, and it's an exasperating position to be in, but remember, this was always going to be our child's name, and we loved grandma too. Would have gone over a lot better than names are wasted on dead babies. Yeah. That is definitely true. There was definitely a lot of sensitivity and tact missing here. Original poster did that first, so the sister sent her mom to scream at her. Original poster only made the dead baby comment after being screamed at by her dad's ex-wife. Not that this really changes anything, but I know quite a few people that chose names with a particular meaning, or names of past family members, for an angel child versus a name they would have picked if the child lived. I know it's pretty suspicious that it came up now, but if they really weren't that close, The half-sister might not have remembered original poster chose the name years ago, or original poster might not have realized they stuck with the name they chose that long ago. Also, naming an angel child after a family member who passed is common enough, at least in my experience, that I could see it being a quick decision made during loss without much thought, and I can't blame someone during that time for not thinking, as things move quickly. Original poster framed the post as, "Am I the butthole for not giving up my baby's name?" She's not the butthole for that. But she certainly is the butthole for telling her half-sister that she'd be wasting the name on a dead baby. What non-butthole would say that to someone, regardless of the circumstances? Her position that she already picked out the name first and half-sister knew about it is all she needed to say. In this case, it isn't a good choice to use the same name because older sis will try to revert attention back to her poor child. My child with same name would have been older right now, who knows what she would have accomplished. Sister is mostly TA. Whilst it is sad her child died, and while it sucks what original poster said, sister made it so that it should have been said. Her previous attention-grabbing behavior and personality will mean that having these two children have the same name will really suck for everyone. Also, who? WHO? Names their fourth child after the same name they know their sister wants to use for literal years. I doubt sister even likes the name and gives it to her deceased child so that she doesn't have to use it and ruin original poster's long-kept wish at the same time. Horrible human being. Having these two children have the same name will really suck for everyone. Will sick big time for original poster. That child will constantly be compared or reminded about the dead half-sibling. To be honest, with a sister like that, I would put everyone on LC if they pick her side. Not the butthole based on the fact that you announced the baby name far in advance. She announced a baby at your wedding, and this is her third child, and she only now decided to name them after a dead relative. Says to me this is also another grab for attention. Yeah, family members can have the same name, but having the same name as a living cousin is not the same as having your name be the name on a recently deceased cousin's gravestone and having to live with the weight of that constantly hanging over your head. Also, I don't care if it's harsh. Giving the name of a deceased loved one to another already deceased loved one literally isn't carrying on the name, it's at best using it as a tool to grieve, and grief is not an excuse to screw over other family members. I wish this comment was higher up. Also, if your sister is so adamant about honoring grandma, why not use her middle name? If she chooses to decline, I feel that it's been a grab for attention all along. Not the butthole. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.